Thanks for the suggestion. I ended up making a morning out of it. I went to Whole Foods, Restaurant Depot, and a restaurant supply store, and was able to get 2 Trader Joe's, and a little concerned, I didn't call ahead that the vanilla bean paste would be available because it's seasonal and it's obviously at the end of the season. So I thought this was where they might be. There's chocolate chips and stuff, but I was like, it's spices, not baking. Went around the aisles, came back, and here they are. And there's also a bourbon vanilla bean paste by Trader Joe's. So I decided that I'm going to try both of those. And it got me thinking, why have I never questioned my commitment to using Nielsen Massey? And it's probably because it was, at all the schools that I went to, it was at the 3 schools that I taught at, and it is a good product, but how does it compare? So I pulled out my vanilla file and I started researching, what is the most basic thing about vanilla that we need to keep in mind? Vanilla, chocolate, and coffee are 3 of the most expensive ingredients in the bake shop. They are grown near the equator and they're totally subjected to climate change issues, political instability, and changing generational goals and values of the younger people coming up and deciding they don't want to be farmers. Vanilla is mostly grown in Madagascar, Mexico, and Tahiti, 10 to 20 degrees of the equator. Vanilla orchids grow the vanilla bean, but only a Mexican bee can pollinate the vanilla orchids. So pollination's now done by hand by humans, and then all the types of vanilla beans are cured and conditioned, left in the sun, covered and fussed over in order to achieve specific outcomes. And that takes about 3 to 6 months. It's very labor intensive. The vanilla vine is an orchid, and it's the only fruit-bearing orchid. And vanilla beans are only harvested typically 1 time a year. The differences in taste come from the climate, soil, curing methods, and the vanilla bean species. 1 vanilla bean equals 1 tablespoon of vanilla bean paste. 1 tablespoon of vanilla bean paste weighs approximately 13 grams. Vanilla beans do not stand up well to heat, so they should always be added at the end of a recipe. Combine actual vanilla beans with vanilla bean paste, and you've got some really spectacular flavor options. So here's Nielsen Massey. Are they the gold standard? They've been around for over 110 years. They brought, vanilla bean paste to the market in 1998, and it's available all year round. It's effective because it's consistent, stable, and high quality. So this guarantee of quality is going to cost you a little bit more. 2 ounces at around $8.98 and a quart at around $98.37. They are readily available and at wholesale in gallon jugs, and that makes it appealing and probably something that people trust because they see it everywhere they go. They have a rich, layered, and floral profile in general and are gluten-free, organic, kosher, and non-GMO. So I am curious, how are they going to compare to the Trader Joe's products? Trader Joe's has a 2-ounce variety that's $4.99, but it's not available in quantity sizes. But it is organic and available on a limited basis and through the holidays until they're sold out. So it's considered a premium product with good flavor and texture, and I like the packaging. It's nostalgic but modern. And Trader Joe's uses acacia gum and xanthan gum as thickeners. Nielsen Massey uses gum tragacanth as a thickener, and I am more familiar with that than I am a fan of the xanthan. Vanilla bean paste has less moisture than vanilla extract, and it's more viscous, which makes it really nice for adding to certain batters and doughs that don't want or benefit from a lot of moisture. But the flecks of vanilla beans sure do look pretty in the batter. I sweetened some whipped cream with 10% 10X, and then I scaled a 10% amount of each vanilla bean paste to be compared. And you can tell right away that they're all a little different in viscosity, dispersion of the vanilla bean seeds, and their color. Bourbon vanilla bean paste is a geographic reference to the Bourbon Islands, by the way. I did not know that. I thought that it was steeped or stored and aged in bourbon barrels. Anyway, any of the evidence you need for what is the difference visually is very compelling. The first 2 are very similar in color and have similar amounts of vanilla seeds that are evenly distributed and they have a similar viscosity. As you can see, the bourbon vanilla bean paste has unevenly distributed vanilla bean seeds. They sunk to the bottom of the jar. It's light in color. It's very runny. It's not nice and viscous. And it didn't smell great compared to the other two. I did taste them straight, and which was a really odd experience. And they all tasted a little bit weird. It's a very odd thing to eat directly. But the Nielsen Massey tasted clean and straightforward. The Trader Joe's had a little bit of a weird off nutty smell to it. And then I didn't like obviously I told you, the bourbon vanilla bean paste at all. However, that one did impart more color because apparently the flecks are sort of chopped up, more surface area. So they did tinge the whipped cream a little bit more than the other two. But I'd rather see less tinting of the cream and more of just the nice clean specks. You want to spend more money on a flavor if it's at the top of your formula. If it's a vanilla anglaise or a vanilla ice cream, you have to put more money in order to get a better consistent flavor. And I think Nielsen Massey delivers on consistency and amazing flavor. The price is higher, but when I want something to taste really great, that is when I will spend money to do it. I would buy the Trader Joe's vanilla bean paste because it's cheaper, and I would do what people recommend. I'd stir it directly into coffee, into smoothies, and I would use a pastry brush maybe and brush it right onto my cakes or directly onto a parchment that I'm going to bake something on. It'll add more flavor and a little bit of sweetness because both of them do have a little bit of sugar in their formula. So Nielsen Massey is still my favorite. I can get it in large quantities. I buy it at a wholesale, so I get a decent price. But I know I'm going to have the same flavor every single time. And I can feel confident that if I am making something that's vanilla forward, that it literally is the best flavor that I can get on a regular and consistent basis. But there's nothing wrong with trying a good deal, local things that are made in your area, or fun new products. So thanks again for the suggestion. I had such a good time, and I love when people make me remember that there's always something new to learn and something new to try, and getting outside of my comfort zone was really fun.